All right, hey everybody, how you doing? That was a close run thing. I was having real trouble accessing the Heygo server, and I just got it then. I was panicking. I was worried if I wasn't going to be able to be with you. So I'm all confused now. Hi, Carol Sue, how you doing? Emily, g'day. Peggy, uh, Jill. I was so worried I was going to be letting you down and I wasn't going to be able to do the tour. Hello, Margie in Ontario, Eleanor, Sharon. Who else we got there? If I missed anybody, I apologize. I've been standing there trying to get through to the stream, and I did it, I think, with 4 minutes to spare or something. Can you hear me all right, everybody? How's that going? Can you hear me? Can you see me okay? I'm just going to have to take a little bit of a rest now while I recover from my stress of not being able to get in. But I'm here, and I'm getting thumbs up. Hello, Emily. How you doing? Hi, Jill. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Agatha, how you doing? Well. We've made it. What a relief. What a relief. We are today at... we are at the Careel Bay, and right now, I'll give you a little look around. There's even a little bit of a dew on the ground. We are at the sports fields here at Careel Bay. It's a sort of a dog park as well. I'll just show you. Have a quick look around. There's a few doggies running around having their morning exercise. We've got this nice frost. You can see the footprints on the ground. There's a nice frost on the ground. Well, it's not really a frost, I wouldn't call it. I call it a dew rather than a frost. And the skies are being good to us. Look up there. We have, hi, Carol. We have quite pleasant skies. Blue skies, in fact, you could almost say, looking up there. We are rather a nice, even a little bit of a sunrise coming up over there. Hi, Ellen. And we are on the fringes of the Careel Bay Mangroves. And I'm going to take you down. We'll have a look at the dogs in the dog park. Maybe talk to some of their owners. And then we'll wander down to the mangroves themselves and to the bay and see what's going on. I'm hoping to be able to show you some seabirds, wading birds, maybe some rare birds even. But right now, we're walking through the dog park area, and it's very important that the dog park area and the bird life area are two very distinct different areas, because it's so important. There's a couple of lovely dogs coming along here. There's a little, I think that's a Australian sheepdog and a little dachshund. There we are, out for their morning exercise. And they seem to be very friendly. Hello, how are you? You've got a lovely coat. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm just streaming to people all around the world right now live. I'm taking them out to see the Careel Bay bird life, actually. But they love dogs. They do love dogs. Look at this lovely little fella. There they are, off for their morning exercise. Have a good day.
See ya.
Bye-bye. And, there's a couple of... I'll do that, Carol Sue. Yes. Well, let me show you what a mangrove is, and that'd probably be a good way of explaining it to start with. This little fella, little terrier here, very keen. Somebody to throw the ball for him. So we are here at Careel Bay. We're on the land of the Garigal people, the traditional owners of this land, and we acknowledge and pay respect to the people of the Garigal, past, present, and future, and recognize them as the traditional owners of this land. Where we are today is about 5 minutes away from where I live, so it really hasn't been too difficult to get here. I'm going to spin the camera around because Carol Sue just asked me what a mangrove was. Well, looking through there, that is the mangrove swamp. It is absolutely critically important for wildlife, for fish life, bird life, for the state of the environment that mangroves exist and are maintained and supported, and that they are kept clean, and that they are there for the birds. In fact, most of the bird life in this area, including the parrots that come to my house, the bats, the fruit bats that fly overhead, they spend their days here in the mangrove swamps. Everything we're going to be looking at today is around the mangrove. Hello, mate. How are you? Look at the little Scotty dog come to say hello. Hello, how are you? Very well. I'm streaming to the world right now. I've got people from all over the world listening. I'm taking them down to show them the Careel Bay, the bird life down there. But we're walking through the dogs. It's called Heygo, and it's a voluntary thing I do. Well, the people here, they love dogs. Look at this beautiful dog coming along here.
There's all manner of dogs
Look at this fellow. I was just explaining how important to keep the dogs away from the... But hello, beautiful. Look at that. I'm streaming to people all around the world at the moment. And they love dogs. What sort of breed of dog is that?
He's a Bria.
He's a?
Bria.
He's a Bria.
French sheepdog.
A French sheepdog. What? Did he take a lot of feeding? It's a beautiful paws on. I haven't seen one of those before. There we are. That's a Bria. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Okay, goodbye. Right. Did you see that? That was a Bria. So yes, mangroves are there, a critical part of the environment, Carol Sue, and we work very hard to maintain them. Sometimes developers come along and they want to build marinas. That's what happened here, in fact, and they were told to go away. Thank you very much. We're wandering down to the mangroves and the tidal estuary here at Careel Bay because the tide is out, as you can see through the trees there, and we're going to see what bird life we can find. And I want to tell you a bit about the importance of Careel Bay for bird life, not just here, but all around the world. Just looking through, and some of you may remember a few weeks ago we went to the Careel Bay Wharf. Well, that's just morning. That's just over there, across the water, and the tide is out. Morning, guys. The tide is out, and we'll be able to walk out onto the sand. Morning. Be able to walk out onto the sand and see what's going on. Say it's about what time is it? It's about 7:30 in the morning, and we are so people are up and about. And if you listen carefully, you should be able to hear some of the bird life waking us up. The old butcher bird never stops. Okay, well, I'm going to start off taking you down here. As we go through, please don't hesitate to ask questions. I'm going to wander down to here, because this is probably the best spot to look across. There we are. So there you can see. Hi, Catherine, Alison, who else is with us? Terry, Storm, Monique, Jane, thank you so much for being here. And looking across towards Careel Bay itself, you can see that the tide is out. There are seabirds down. And it's important to understand why these birds are so important. Do you have bandicoots? Carol, so yes, we do have bandicoots. I have bandicoots in my garden, but they come out at night. They're quite rare. Bandicoots, I won't see any down here today. Hello from to Greenfield, Massachusetts. Hello, Storm. Good to see you. Terry, everybody, thank you so much. Yes, I do. We have them in my garden, but they are quite rare. Okay, so let's have a look at out across here. For thousands of years, shorebirds have been global wanderers. They fly from area to area. The birds that we get here, the migratory birds, they make an annual journey of about 24,000 kilometers. I'm just going to put my back book there. I'll just turn you around so you can see who's talking to you again. Decides to go around. There we go. They travel about 24,000 kilometers in a year, 12,000 each way. They arrive here around about March or April. That's when the summer is starting here, and the winter is getting more difficult in the north. So they spend their summer here, and then around about March, April here, which is not far off now, they start flying north. And they go all the way to Siberia from here, or to Alaska, which, as I said, is a long distance. A lot of them do it in 2 flights. They literally fly from here to the Yellow Sea off China. They rest up there, and then they take the rest of the journey through to Siberia or to Alaska. What they're essentially doing is chasing the sun and keeping the warm areas. And of course, while they're here, it's so important that they eat well, that they're not frightened, scared off, and that they eat enough to give them the strength to migrate all that distance. So we say goodbye to them in March, April, and they arrive here about September, October. And they visit this Careel Bay. It's a very important area for them. That's why it has to be protected. Hi, Nandi and Eve. And they come here, and this gives them the food to give them the strength to make that trip. So it's really important that while they're feeding here, particularly at low tide, they are not being disturbed by dogs. And if I show you a little map here, I've got it on here. I'll show you a couple of bits of information. And I'll post all this on the Pittwater playground. And let's just show you what I'm talking about here. Have a look at this. There's a picture of the route they take. If you have a look at that, you can see there Australia at the bottom. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Polly. And there's some information on the birds themselves. All right, let's wander down, and I'll show you some of the areas that they're in, and hopefully we'll see a few birds. I've got some photos as well to show you, because you never know what's going to be here. And you can see how important it is, the signage here. Dogs are only allowed in this area on a leash. And in fact, as the sign explains, the mudflats are habitat for wading birds. Dogs disturb the birds. Eastern curlew, which is one of the birds that we're likely to see here. I'll show you a picture of that. That's the eastern curlew, a beautiful little bird. It breeds in Siberia in the northern summer and comes here to fatten up on creatures in the mud. And as I said, it needs to be fully fed to survive the trip back. So we can't stress enough how important it is that dogs are controlled in this area. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Of course, under the mud, there is so many animals, little insects, little crustaceans and snails and bugs and so on, and that's what the birds are chasing for their food. I'm just going to walk across this area. The tide's only just gone out, so it's a little bit wet. And there we can see in the distance, here we go, here's our first. Now this is a pelican. If you have a look out there in the distance, so we have a pelican out there, not a rare bird by any stretch of the imagination. As you can see there in the distance, pelican out with its big beak, looking for food. Let's just make sure I've got it in camera for you. That looks like him there. You just see his little head. Yes, I'm sure, Emily. Yeah, pelicans aren't rare. It's always nice to see them here. And you can see in the foreground, that bird there, there's a couple of stilts. You see them there? And I think I have a picture of those. Probably you can already hear them as well. There you go. It's the mangrove heron. You see, and they spend their day, particularly in the morning. That's why it's important to get here quite early. Wading in the water. In the mangroves themselves, and that mangrove area goes a long way. I'll just go back and get some birds flying there. There are in there the sulphur-crested cockatoos. Spend a lot of time during the day in there. We have fruit bats that fly overhead at night. I see them every evening, and they spend their days in the mangroves as well. I just let you enjoy the sound of the birds. And across the other side, the Careel Bay area just across there. Just you can see there's the wharf that we had a cup of coffee on a couple of weeks ago. And just up there in the background, in that direction, there's my house. Oh, was it rare? Okay, Storm. Well, we see a lot of them here. Of course, we're on the edge of Pittwater, so a lot of you will know what we have over there is the Careel National Park. On the other side of the water there, it stretches all the way up to West Head. Hello, Ronnie Lynn. I'm just trying to find a spot onto the sand where I won't get too muddy, as the tide has just gone out. I hope you can hear the birds. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear the birds singing? Great. Thank you. See all the little this is where the birds come to get their food, dig into the sand. Thank you, guys. And you can see there's a couple of northeastern gulls here as well, which stay here all the year round. So we've seen a few herons there in the distance. And I want to just show you some of the other birds that we... Hello, Andrea. I came prepared because I knew that you'd want to see birds. And if I wasn't able to show you any in real life, at first I can show you some pictures. This is probably the most rare bird that we get here. This is a mangrove gerygone. It's not a bird that migrates. It's here all the year round. There's a beautiful little call on it. But they're very hard to see. They very, very, very shy, very rare, I have to say, but they are here. The mangrove gerygone, pretty little bird there. If you're lucky enough to hear it, you're doing very well. Never mind see it. Then we've got, of course, the quite common bird here, the royal spoonbill. There we are. Hope you can see that. They have a very large, wide beak, and they catch fish and food stuff by what's called mowing. They put their beak into the water, and they mow the surface. They mow the mud and the sand to stir up foodstuffs, and they use their bill. It's called mowing. Hello, Amy B. How you doing? Welcome. It's a quiet day today. You can see all the holes in the ground. You see there, every one of those little holes is a little animal digging away for its life to stay under there, come up when the tide is in to feed, and there'll be little crustaceans, snails, for the birds to enjoy. That's the way the life goes around. I'm just having a look at the clams. Yes, indeed, storm clams as well. Mollusks of all sorts. And that's what keeps the birds. I'm just giving you a look back now at where we came from, back towards the dog park. Hi, Karina. There's some very desirable residences down here, as you can see through there, although they are subject to flooding. Hi, Karina. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, folks, don't forget, if you are able to, please follow me. If you haven't yet followed me, that would be much appreciated. I'm going to keep moving so I don't get my shoes to get stuck in the mud. You've got to keep moving on these mud flats, otherwise you end up losing your shoes. Thank you, LS. I designed it myself. I've also got another cute picture I designed myself. You're probably going to think I'm cheeky for showing this. There's another cute picture. Where is it? Thought I'd added it. Oh, there we are. I'll show you some more of the birds that we get around here. Hi, Joyce. We've got a few mangrove herons just over there in the distance. I think I pointed those out to you before. There's a pair of them just over there. A rarer type of heron is the white. I don't know if you can do it for me. Why won't these post? What are you doing to me? For some reason, I'm not seeing your messages coming through. Are you hearing me all right? I'm not getting any text up at the moment. Good. I wonder why that's not working. Thank you. Are you seeing any pictures here? Okay, I'm not. No. I wonder why that is. No. Oh, are you? Well, it's not coming up for me. How about that? Isn't that interesting? Hi, Joyce. Okay, let me show you some more because I'm not seeing them on my. There's a bird that does migrate here. It's called a whimbrel. Can you see that one? Because it's not coming up for me. It's not coming up for me. Isn't that interesting? All right. Okay. Can you ask me as well? All right. So you're not seeing the whimbrel then. Now, why has it stopped doing that? Here's somebody been out kayaking with his dog. No whimbrel. I'm sorry, that's not working at the moment, folks. I'm not sure why. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, it just popped up, did it? Isn't that interesting? Let me try one. Let me try another one. I had all these birds I wanted to show you. I just saw the whimbrel. It's just coming through late. I wonder why that is. This is probably one of the prettiest birds that we see here. It's a Pacific golden plover. Do you see that? Let's wander across here. Now, this dog's just been out on the water. Hello, mate. Hello, aren't you beautiful? Hello. Look what we've got here. Good morning. We've got a sea dog there. Sorry? You've got a sea dog. He is a sea dog. Very lovely. I'm just streaming to people around the world at the moment, live. Oh, really? I'm sharing them the flats today and telling them about the bird life. I've got about 30, 40 people here listening in. They can hear what I'm saying to you. What's the name of your dog? It's called Watson. This dog, let me just get rid of that. No, don't jump up. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. I love dogs. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. That's all right. Now, what was the name? Sorry, I had a bit of problem on the camera. What was the dog's name? Watson. This is Watson. And Watson has just been on the boat. 50, Emily. Okay, we've got about 50 people here. And Watson is very good on the water. Watson's just been for a ride. Where did you come across from? Have you? I came across from opposite on one of the houses there. On Stoke Point? Yeah, on Cabarita Road. Oh, you live over there? Live over there, and we paddle over to go to the dog park. What a wonderful thing to do every day. Well, I live in Careel Bay, just a bit further back. Yeah. And these people are all over the world. What breed of dog is that, they're asking me? He's a Labrador. You're a Labrador. That's a good, reliable Labrador. And I've got these people are in USA and Canada. Oh. And they today I'm showing them beautiful Careel Bay and the mudflats, and tell them a bit about the birds.
Yes, there's always lots of birds.
So there's Watson. He's off for a walk in the dog park because I know you're being very careful there, because we have to be very careful of the bird life here, don't we?
Oh yes, we go this way. We don't go out that way.
That's good for you.
There's a pelican over there.
Yes, we spotted the pelican, and there's a few herons as well.
Yes,
And I just saw something else coming in as well over there. But a lot of the wildlife has headed away now. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a lovely day. There we are. They're off to the dog park. See, they're waving goodbye. Hi, David. How you doing? There she is, off to the dog. And she made the point there as well that you don't. She's being very careful with her dog and not taking it too close to the. This pelican's decided to show off for us a bit. There he is. Thank you, David. Good to see you. There's a pelican. Look at the lovely reflection too. Can you see that, folks? I'm going to just give you a look at that. Look at the reflection of the pelican in the water. There's one for you, Emily. I've got to be careful where I stand because I don't want to be stuck in the mud. Now, 3, 2, 1. There we go. I'm just going to try and post a picture again because we didn't have much luck last time. Yes, indeed. What happened to it? It was there a minute ago. Yeah, something's not working right on my app, I'm afraid, with the pictures. But I will put these pictures on Pittwater Playground afterwards for you. Thank you, Terry. That's very kind of you. So this is one of the main feeding grounds for migratory birds. And I'll show you, I'm having trouble posting images here for you folks, but I'm going to try to see if you can see this. If that one's posting. Post 3. Okay. It seems to have caught up now. And if you can see those images. My immediate reaction was Dr. Watson. Yes, so please, if you're enjoying the tour especially, please leave a tip. The tips I get for these tours go to a charity once I've covered my costs. Well, I didn't have any costs today, so I just walked down here from my house, which is 5 minutes away. So this was a very easy tour for me to do. I'm going to wander along here and wander back towards the mangroves. And then you can see we're at the southern end of Pittwater here. Thank you, Catherine. We're at the southern end of Pittwater here. The area across there is called Stokes Point. Just see if I can. Sorry, I'm getting. When Watson jumped up at me, I'll tell you this now. When Watson jumped up at me just now, he I've now got a bloodied wrist. Do you see that, folks? Yeah, I'm afraid Watson gave me a good bit of a scratch when he jumped up at me. You see that, folks? Don't be gruesome. Don't be gruesome. Richard, take it away. It'll wash off very easily. I'm very used to getting cuts, and I was a rugby player, remember? So I'm very used to getting cuts. Sorry, I shouldn't even have shown you that. You're probably all having your dinner or feeling ill now because I've shown you that, but it'll wash off very easily. No problem at all. Yeah. Hello. My this is an interesting tour. Look what's happened now. I'm going to have to find a dry bit of ground because I'm going to show you what's happened. You know how I said that if I wasn't careful, my shoe would get stuck in the mud? Well, it did. Well, half did anyway, because I'm going to show you my foot now. I'm having one of those days. Look at my shoe. It's come off, half come off. You see that? Yeah, it's half off. So I'm going to have to go and find a dry spot here and put it back on again. Yeah, I've never had that happen before. It's either it comes off totally or not at all. This time it's come off halfway. Oh boy, it was one of those days. One of those days. Let me find a spot over here that I can sit down on. Bear with me, folks. What a useless guide, eh? What a useless... There we are. I think I can sit down here. It's all right. Worst things happen. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to take a seat for a minute. I'll prop you up so you can see the view. I'll put my shoe on. Good stuff. It just proves how strong the mud is. You can't stand still in the mud. I tried to, and I was actually trying to work out why my photos weren't going through. But it's not a bad place to sit, is it? Look where I'm sitting right now. That's the view I've got. Looking out there. You can't really complain, can you? And there I am, putting my shoes on. Look at it. I just bought a second pair of these shoes. They're very good shoes, these. I've had these ones for ages, but I just went out and bought a brand new pair of these. Exactly the same, pretty much, because they're such good shoes. And I only keep those for special occasions. Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, always something going on here. You might need some wellies. I don't have any wellies, actually. I'd sooner go out there in my bare feet than if I was going to go like that lady I was just talking to. She bare feet are the easiest. Okay, let's wander back towards the mangroves. Yes, they are. Okay. Whatever you do, Emily, don't post a picture of my bleeding arm on Pittwater Playground. I'm not sure people would appreciate it. Anyway, we'll have to come down here again around about August, September, when the birds really start arriving. Let me just show you some of these lovely houses that are looking out onto Careel Bay here. Hi, Chelsea. When I was down here on Sunday, one of those houses was having a big party. Oh, good. But most of these houses, believe it or not, are only used for summer houses. They're used for they're called weekenders. People just come down here for the weekend, and they're empty during the week. Oh yes, expensive houses, 2 to 3 million Australian, I'd say. There's one down here at the end that I'll show you. I hope you're liking the views across. I'm sorry we haven't seen many birds. You can be sure that they're there. They're just sometimes very hard to spot. But look at that lovely view across the water as the sun's starting to come out now and warm up the water. Would they each be responsible for the... Joanna, good question. No, this is actually a public area. As far as possible, people aren't allowed to own land that runs to the seashore. So you've got the seashore there, and they try very hard, the council, the government, and so on, to ensure that the land between the houses and the seashore are public land. So you can walk along here, along the coastline. You can bring your dogs on a leash, and they would look. I mean, in my own house, the land in front of my house is not my land. It's owned by the council, but I still cut the grass, even though it's not my land. I'll go out when I'm cutting my front lawn. I'll go out and cut the grass in front of that as well. So I don't think they're directly responsible. Maybe they get a letter from the council if they don't look after it. I don't know how that works quite. But generally speaking, people are quite happy to cut the grass, even if it's not their own. There's rather a nice house there, all locked away for the week. And this one on the corner, this house is used. I don't think people live in it. I think it's owned by an advertising agency. And you often see film crews down here using this property for advertisements, mainly. You know, it's a nice background for whatever it is you're trying to sell. So that's what I call my TV advert house. I think I saw it recently. They did one where they were advertising paints, and they repainted the whole place to show the quality of the paints. At the house itself, I don't want to stick the camera in there because in case there are people in there, but I think it's pretty much empty unless they're filming. Hello, Lana. Hello, Emily. So, once again, for those of you who've just arrived, I'll say hello again. Welcome to Careel Bay. We are at the Mangroves. And of course, now that we've moved away from the water's edge, the pelicans have come in closer. And up there we've got Currawong. Hello, good morning. How are you? I'm just not talking to myself. I'm streaming to the world. I've got people watching all over from the USA and Canada and the UK live, but they can hear me talking to you right now.
So you're looking at the wildlife?
I brought them down today to show them the wildlife and explained about... what's your name, sir?
Richard.
I'm a Richard as well. How about that? Would you mind being on camera? Mind if I could point the camera at you?
Sure.
Okay, look, I've just met this wonderful gentleman who has a wonderful name. There he is, and he's with two dicks together. How about that? And look at
Tilly.
Tilly.
Say
look
hello,
at
Tilly.
They love dogs. Say hello to Tilly, everybody. They're saying hello. They're waving to you.
Tilly will bark if we give her half a minute.
Tilly, you're going to give us he wants you to throw the ball. That's what it is, isn't it? They're all saying hello to Tilly. You going to give us a bark, Tilly?
No.
They're saying hello. There you go. If you look here, Richard, you can see that they're saying messages to you. Is it a schnauzer?
Schnauzer, yeah, miniature schnauzer.
Yeah, Richard 1 and 2 and Tilly. That's right, Emily. And do you live in this area?
Yes.
You do, and you're out for your morning walk.
Her morning walk.
Her morning walk. Oh, no.
I'll have mine later.
You have yours later. Well, I live on the other side of Careel Bay, but I've wandered over here today to do this.
I like to walk along the waterfront here.
It is beautiful, and well, what can you say? It's lovely. All right. Well, thank you, Richard.
Okay.
Thank you, Tilly. He wants the ball throw, but he can't. He's on the leash.
Go in there, get her up the leash.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We might see you in there later. We're going to wander through there.
Okay.
Thank you, Richard. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, that was Richard and Tilly out for their morning constitutional. Just looking through here. I'm going to slip into another little point where we may see more birds. I'm sorry we haven't had a better display of birds today. It's fairly early, which is a good time, but I think a lot of them are already heading back. As I mentioned to you earlier on, many of the birds that we see here are migratory birds. I'll show you a chart here which explains it. And in 1 year, they fly about 24,000 kilometers. They are here. You can see the map in front of me there to give you some idea of the route they take from Australia and New Zealand. They fly up to Siberia and to Alaska. The godwit, which is that line, the bar-tailed godwit, and I'll show you a picture of the bar-tailed godwit that we see here frequently. There we are, that one there. Hopefully you can see that. There we are. It's working all right now. That bird there, is it coming through all right? What's happened there? All right, can you see that one? The dotted line. Okay, good. I can't actually see it on my screen very clearly, but I'm glad you can. That's the route it takes, the dotted line, every year. And it may fly for thousands of kilometers without even landing. A number of the birds that head up to the yellow, up to Siberia, stop over in the Yellow Sea. You can see that on the map. So we have birds like the eastern curlew, the whimbrel, I've shown you a picture of that, the bar-tailed godwit, the common greenshank, the eastern sandlander, the black-tailed godwit, and the sandpiper. And these are all birds that we see here, and a number of them are threatened. So it's essential that if they can do their normal, they've been doing this for thousands of years, of course, but if they're able to do that in the normal way and make use of the environment, then we will have these birds for many years to come. But if they are threatened by when they're eating here, when they're feeding here, to build up their strength to do the trip back to Siberia or to Alaska, it's essential that they're not disturbed. And this is one of their favorite and the largest feeding ground in eastern Australia. And I've shown you pictures of some of the other birds, which I'll post this on Pittwater Playground. Some of the other birds that we have here that are here all the year round, but often very hard to spot. And I've shown you some of those animals as well, some of those birds as well. So I must admit, I'm a bit of a policeman down here. Hello, Tarek. I'm a bit of a policeman, and on Sunday when I was down here, I saw 3 different groups letting their dogs run free on the sand dunes, and I had to have quiet word with them. I was very polite to them, and they were very reasonable with me, and they understood once I'd shown them why they needed to keep their dogs on a leash and not have them chasing the birds. Because chasing the birds means they will say, well, we can't go there anymore, there's dogs. Hello, Tarek and Ollie and Jimmy. So I've got my shoe back on. I'm not bleeding to death, I'm pleased to say. And we are taking a last look. So I'm going to wander up to the dog park now and wander through, and we're going to have a coffee if you'll stick with me. So that's a lovely view looking across Careel Bay. As I said, some of you who came on my walk a couple of weeks ago where we had coffee over there at the Careel Bay Wharf, it's not very far. And then my house is pretty much just up there in that direction through the trees. So it's a very easy walk for me. And in the mangroves that you can see in front of you, you can't see too many birds and wildlife, I know, but it is swarming with wildlife. In the summer when it's hot, the cockatoos love to get down there and in the cool. And also there are many, many, many fruit bats already in there. They're already sleeping in there right now in an area of the mangroves. And around about 6, 7 o'clock at night, you see them flying. They take off and they fly south. Oh, thank you, Emily. I appreciate what you're saying. I'll be fine. Thank you. All right, so that's our last look at the mangroves. Those 2 herons have just taken off. I just saw them go overhead. I don't know if you spotted them there. They're just doing a circuit. All right, so let's go for a little walk. We'll walk through the dog park. If you have any questions, I love getting those questions in blue, by the way. That's really easy. It's going to... Thank you, Storm. That's very kind of you. So there's... we're going to walk back through the park. You see, that's a typical road here in Palm Beach. We don't have pavements. And we don't really have much street lighting either. We don't think we need it too much. Thank you, David. So, you can probably hear the dogs now. We're going to walk through the park. We get some more views of the these trees are called saltmarsh trees. They're quite rare as well because they're growing basically in sand. Once again, very important for the environment, for the bird life. And fortunately, the people who live in this area are generally speaking, very environmentally conscious. And they want this place to be maintained the way it's been, as close as possible. Polly, well, that was lovely. Thank you. Pity people don't feel rules apply to them. Yes. Yes, it is, Polly. You're absolutely right. But as I was just saying, around here, the people are pretty good. The people are pretty good. The 3 groups I spoke to at the weekend, they were all people from out of town, as it were. They were people who weren't local, who were visiting and thought it was perfectly right for the dogs. This is something you might find interesting as we walk up here. There's a special area here for small dogs or dogs that are easily scared. So it's an area where it's fenced off. For small dogs. You see the sign? Individual needs. Keep your eyes on the ground. Thank you, Joanne. So this is an area fenced off for smaller dogs. Oh, you have them the same. Oh, well, there you are. I wondered about that, Emily. I'd never seen it before. This is new here. It's only just arrived. Somebody probably got this good idea from Canada. Get all our best ideas from Canada, don't we? Hello, Polly. Thank you so much for that tip. So I'm going to walk through the dog park now, see who we bump into. I used to bring a friend's dogs down here, to Labradors. Love walking her dogs for her. I probably should do it again. Oh, well, I don't know about that, Polly. But anyway, keep them safe, because there are some very big dogs here as well. And as we walk, listen to the birds. That's a butcher bird, by the way. Those of you who've been on my back garden tour will have met Trevor, one of my favorite birds. Trevor, the butcher's bird. That's a bird like Trevor. So this is a recognized dog walking area. Hello. Look at this lovely fellow. Oh, good morning. How are you? I'm streaming to the world right now. I'm not talking to myself. Okay. People in North America, particularly, and in UK, are hearing everything I'm saying and watching. I've just been showing them the Careel Bay, the bird life down there. Oh, lovely. But they do like dogs as well. Oh. Do you mind if I put you on camera?
Sure.
What's your name?
Megan.
I'm Richard. What a lovely Welsh or Irish name anyway. Megan. Hello. Megan. This is Megan. Hi. And she's walking. What's the name of your dog, Megan?
My dog is Frankie.
Cranky?
Frankie.
Frankie. This is Frankie. There we are. Now that you'll see that they're saying hello to you. Everybody say hello to Megan. And there's Frankie down there. And what type of dog is Frankie?
Frankie is an Australian Kelpie.
Australian Kelpie. There you are, Joanne. There's an Australian Kelpie. Look at me. Oh, well, we'll give him his privacy for a while. But this is a lovely spot. Do you bring your dog here most days?
I do, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
It's
free range and be off lead.
Yeah. And do you have to do anything after this, or is this?
I've got the day off today.
You got the day off today. It's a Tuesday for a day off, isn't that? Yes, isn't that lovely? Well, I sort of have every day off, except I always find good things to do, like doing this. So, is it a cattle dog?
Yes.
Australian cattle dog. Yes, Robert.
Dog.
A working dog. What do they like when they see sheep or cows or cattle? They go crazy?
They start working.
They start working. Yeah. I used to work on a sheep farm in the borders of South Wales. And the border collies, of course, and you see them here. And whenever I see a border collie outside the supermarket with people, I say, what's it like when it sees sheep? And they say, never seen a sheep in his life. That's normally what it is. So there you are. You want to go, Frankie? You want to go for a walk?
Got lots of energy.
Thank you, Megan. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. See, they're saying goodbye. Well, thank you very much, Megan. Bye. What a nice lady. What a lovely lady. There we are. By the way, folks, if you're not yet following me, please do. We've got a tour coming up on Friday that you mustn't miss. We're going to Taronga Zoo in Sydney. 2 tours down there, morning and afternoon for me, evening for you and late evening for you, I'd imagine. Thank you, Catherine. Yes, they are around here. The people around here are rather nice. You've got to be careful. I don't like sticking the camera. I stuck a camera in a lady's face the other day down at Manly when I was meeting Bonnie, and she didn't like being filmed at all. So I quickly stopped. But just got to be careful. Yes, anyway, what was I saying? Yes, going to the zoo on Friday. 2 tours. The first tour, we're going to watch the amazing bird life show, live bird with the backdrop of, look at you, hello, with the backdrop of the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. That's the bird life. Hello. And then, look at him. Wants to know what's going on. And then the later show, which I know will be very late for you, but it's probably worth staying up for. Good morning, sir. How are you? We're going to watch the koala show at the zoo. So that's this Friday for me, Thursday night for you. How you doing? I'm not talking to myself. I'm streaming to people all over the world right now, live. I was been showing them the Careel Bay and so on. And do you mind if I show your dog? What's is her
Her
name?
name is Nellie. Nellie.
This is, and your name, madam?
Kim.
Kim, this is Kim. And she's with her lovely, lovely Labrador. Look at that. Now, being very well behaved. Being very well behaved. A beautiful tongue. And this is a regular jaunt for you every day, is it?
Yes, very much.
So I missed the name of the dog again. Sorry.
Nellie?
Nellie, Nelly.
Yeah.
Nellie. Well, I'm going to actually sit down for a minute as well because I need a rest. Oh. I just almost lost my shoe in the mud down at the mudflats.
Oh, yes.
I had to stream and film. There we are. That's Nellie there. Tarek and the bears say hello to Nellie. Beautiful. Beautiful. And this Emily in Canada has one very similar called Karma. There you are. Lovely brown. What a well-behaved dog. Nice and welcoming. Do you have far to come to get here?
We come from Newport.
Oh, you come up from Newport. Well, that's only a little while away.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, where's the nearest dog park for Newport? We've
actually got one across the road.
But
this one has more dogs.
Well, I have a friend. I walk her dogs. She lives in Bungan Beach. Yeah. And I used to bring them here because I thought it was a lovely one. And Robert O knows a chocolate lab called Hershey. There we are. So thank you, Robert. So they do like their dogs. See, you've got relatives all over the world, little beautiful Labrador. Yes, I used to bring them all the way up to here. I live just over in Careel Bay. All right, folks. Well, there we are. The dog park's quiet at the moment. There's usually a few more here. I wonder why that. Maybe a bit later. We're going to go and have a coffee and a chat. So thank you very much for putting up with us, and thank you for talking to us. The organization is Heygo. If you want to have a look at it online, we have tour guides all over the world. It's a voluntary thing in the main part, and I have over 1,000 followers who come on with me. Not all of them at the same time, depending on the time. Hi, Patrick in the States, but it's a lovely concept.
No worries.
Have a look at this sometime. Patrick. All right. Goodbye. What a lovely dog. Do you mind if I'm going to give you a portrait. This is. I'm going to give. They can take photos. You see. So I'm going to a lovely shot of Mel and Nellie. Got that right?
Kim.
Ah.
We'll go with anything.
I'm getting old. Kim and Nellie. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Kim and Nellie. There they are. What a lovely shot. There you are. We'll have one of those, Emily. All right. There you are. That's great. Thank you so much for putting up with us. And I don't like to intrude, but if you're happy, that's fine. And you got your coffee from over the road? That's a Newport. Becco's.
Yeah, Becco in Newport. Near the Newport.
Oh, by the Arms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye. All right. There we are. That was Kim and Nellie. I'm glad they've got better buckets than they used to have here for the dogs. There's the dogs to have a swim in, especially on a hot day. All right. So, please, if you haven't yet signed up for the zoo tour, I suggest you do, because I think it's going to be pretty full, especially the first one, when we watch the bird life handout. I'm not very good at marketing, Bill. I do, though, if I get a chance. I do have cards, but I don't actually have any on me at the moment. But I do. It's not hard for them to Google Heygo. So we're walking now parallel with the main road. And what I'm going to do, I think, to make things a bit quicker, is I'm going to go back to my car and just drive. It's not very far, but I'm just going to drive around to the coffee shop, and I'll show you the lovely selection of foods there. Is there? No, Emily, there are two tours. If you look at it, if you click on it, you'll see there's two different tours under the same heading. If you have a look at that, that can catch people out. If you put two tours in, even if they're days apart, if it's the same tour, you can. They only show up initially as one tour, and then when you click on it, you'll see it gives you two different time options. Now the later one is, I got it, Emily? The later one is the Koala Tour, which I'm thinking would probably be the most popular. But unfortunately, they only do one a day, and I can only do it then when they do it. So it is going to be quite late, especially for the people in Europe. It'll be the middle of the night. Yeah, that's a butcher bird, Deborah. Give you a little look around. So this is the sports playing fields here at Careel Bay. When I was down here on Sunday, it was full of kids and people playing sport, playing football. Yeah. And please, folks, if you haven't yet followed me, you know the story. I'll put a lot of these pictures on the Pittwater playground. David Kay's there. David, by the way, I don't think most of you know David. I know that, but for those of you who don't, David Kay's up there in California, and he's my right-hand man. And Emily G is our official group photographer. I'm very lucky to have such lovely people, wonderful people who support me, because I couldn't do this on my own. I can promise you that. So, hi, Lynn. It's lovely to have them here. If you need any help finding Pittwater Playground, or if you need any help leaving a review, which I also appreciate, or if you need any help leaving a tip, well, that would be much appreciated. David Kay can help you find your way around. Isn't that a sad little picture? Look, somebody obviously left their shoes here from the weekend. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Nice to see you. Look, they left their shoes here. They've been here since Sunday. It's Tuesday now, and maybe one day somebody will come and reclaim their shoes. Nice that people will leave them alone there. I suppose you don't want a pair of second-hand shoes, do you? Anyway, but still. All right, and looking down, do the lads play? Yes, football. This is a football field here. And then further down beyond those trees on the other side, you can't see it from here, there's also a rugby field. That's rugby league. Rugby league. Hi, Mark in New York. Okay, let's hop in the car. I'm going to show you something I'm rather proud of, because I just went out and bought this the other day. I'll show it to you. Now, I know a lot of cars today come with these fitted, but for my old plonker of a car, this is all very new. You see that? How about that, eh? Now, that enables me to film as I'm going along. Now, I know I sound very impressed by it, but I am. But you've probably all got one of those in your car fitted in. I wouldn't be surprised. So I've got a tour coming up again in a couple of weeks, which I'm calling 10 beaches in 90 minutes. Yeah, minus 2. Yeah. That cost me about $120, Lynn. I'll show you how it's really. I'll take a risk, and I'm going to show it to you how it works. Right. Just a little bit of adjustment here. It's actually very easy to use. Slip it in there. Put the car engine on. Press a button on top, and then there we are. Now, give me a thumbs up if you can see the football ground. I hope. Dustin, there we are. Excellent. All right, we're going to drive from here now, and I'm going to drive to where we can sit and chat. I don't have anything else going on this morning. Bit of genealogy work to do, but not a lot. So we've got plenty of time, and I'm going to drive you around to my little favourite coffee shop around the corner here. Ask that question: do you need your mic? I'll talk up a bit, Lynn. I haven't used the mic here yet. It shouldn't need the mic. My sound is actually streaming all right. People hearing me all right? Are you hearing me all right? Joanne, you can hear me? Good. It sounds like it's okay. Yes, it's connected that way. It's fine. Okay, Emily, thank you. So we can drive down onto the main road. Oh, good. Thank you. Because this is the first time I've used it for a tour. I did take it out for a trial run just to do some testing, but it's the first time I've used it for a proper tour. Okay, let's have a look where we're going. Nothing coming. Hopefully we'll be able to get there. So yes, that's a 10 beaches in 90 minutes tour coming up, which I've just scheduled, and I'm going to use this for that purpose, and hopefully there'll be a parking spot in here with a bit of luck. A few tradies around at the moment doing their business, getting ready for the day. Here we go. It is a bit muffled. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that, David. Perhaps you can do some checking on that for me, David, and get back to me, would you? No. I'm just joking. But David's my technical guy. He's got all the answers. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of there now. Very easy to take out. Slip it back onto the gimbal. Yeah. Okay, now, how's that? All back to normal. Let me grab that and that. Everybody hear me all right? I've got it back on the gimbal now. Thank you, Emily. Okay. Oh, Nina. Morning, guys. Oh, yeah. Wondering what this is, eh? No. Oh, you know. Well, I won't tell you then. All right. Just hold on there, guys. I'm just going to go. Oh, I'm going to show you inside the shop. Yeah. All right. This is one of my very favorite coffee shops. This is where I usually come to after the lighthouse tour. have a lovely selection of foods and the very best pies, all homemade. Look at those, best pies you could ever have. What a lovely selection. Doesn't that make you feel hungry? All of his pies. Hiya, how are you? I'm actually filming at the moment, streaming to people all over the world.
Yeah?
That's what that is, okay? Anyway, can I have a long black coffee?
Yeah?
Large. And I'll have a sausage roll. And that'll do it for now.
Any sauce for the sausage roll?
Yes, please. They're looking at your menu and saying how nice it is. Go back to the menu, folks. You want to have a look at that? There we go.
Sorry, you told me no sauce?
Pardon?
No sauce for the sausage roll?
I have sauce, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a pity you can't smell it. I wish you could. Yeah. Is that all right?
Thank you.
And we'll go and have a seat outside and have a chat. Smoked fish. Is there a smoked fish one out there? No, I don't see a smoked fish one. Maybe I'm. Hey, Karen. Oh, Joe, don't you start. Hello, Joe. Welcome back. Yeah, those would be $6 US. The $8 pie, $6 US. Above the oven. Oh yes, smoked fish. There we are, $9.50. I couldn't read it. It's in a blue color. Yeah, I see it now. I haven't had one of those
For
before.
toppings?
Yeah, I missed that. Might try that next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So all this is made here. So all homemade. Sorry, all homemade. Look at those. No, I don't eat those, but I'm sure they're lovely. All that cream and sugar, pies, and muffins.
Oh, cup, more sugar? Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
So welcome back, Joe. I haven't seen you for a while. The ladies have been missing you, Joe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Everything I have because it's too hot. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Hey, how are you? Okay.
Okay. Here we are. Welcome to Oliver's Pies. Well, those of you who've just arrived, this is a good one, Lynn. We finished the tour down at Careel Bay in the Mangroves. Quite interesting. I cut my wrist and I almost lost my shoe. We did see a few birds, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was a beautiful day to go down there anyway, which is a nice thing to do. A lot of the migratory birds have started to head back to Alaska and to Siberia. But we saw a few. We saw a few herons and the pelicans. And anyway, I hope you found that to be a good tour. And so I'm sitting here at Oliver's Pies now. I'm going to have a drink of coffee. And if you have any questions for me, anything you want to ask me, well, I'm happy to tell you. I'm sorry for those who just arrived. Spring in New York. Yes, I was in Vancouver at this time about 3 years ago, and the cherry blossom was out. It was really lovely. And I saw Miss Kendall James's tours in Japan the other day and saw the cherry blossom, and it reminded me. Good to have Lynn here. Lynn, I hope you had a lovely sunrise this morning up north. Lynn is my colleague, another Australian guy. Those of you, I'm sure most of you know Lynn. She's up north, a bit up north, about 100, 200 miles. Oh, good. How about 200 miles north of here, Lynn? Would that be right? A bit further, perhaps. That's lovely. I'm glad that Lynn saw that. And I think Lynn's got another tour coming up shortly. Am I right on that? Did I misread that? I think you're going somewhere else when this tour is finished, and people can jump off any time. What time are you starting that one, Lynn? Um, 250 miles, yeah. Okay, so there's another one for you to look at for Lynn's going through a rainforest. Rainforest is quite different to mangroves. Mangroves will always be close to the shoreline. A rainforest is probably going to be more likely to be inland. Very different types of trees and foliage to what you see in the mangroves. So have a look at Lynn. She'll be heading off in about an hour and a half on her next tour. So I hope you can follow her and enjoy that one. Quite close to the coast. All right. I'm not too familiar with the geography north of Hawkesbury. I tend to stay around here most of the time. Let's have a look at this. Hope you enjoy your sausage. Thank you, Deborah. Well, there you are. Let's have a look at it. There's a pretty good sized sausage. I probably won't be able to eat the whole thing. I'll probably only have half of it. Lynn, no, I don't like. To be honest, Lynn, I don't like going west of the Baha'i Temple and south of the Narrabeen Bridge. Quite honestly, I like sticking around here. I've had to do too much driving and traveling in the past. Going into the city's nice because you go on the ferry. Do that once or twice a month. But basically, I'm a homeboy. This is where I like to be. I'm not interested in driving anymore. Fighting the traffic, not my thing. Very much. They call us the Insular Peninsula because once you get here, you really don't want to leave. I think Lynn will second me on that. I don't know who's Finn Toomey. Is he in Australia? I don't know who he is. Okay. Oh, Patrick, Toomey. I know him in Canada. Well, I know of him. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm starting to see more and more backpackers coming back now, arriving here. much better than it was. For a couple of years, restaurants were literally having to close here because they didn't have any backpackers to work cheap labor. Although my niece is coming over with her best friend from Wales in October, November, and they're going to be here for about a year. Thank you, Terry. And they're going to be doing some waitressing and barista coffee making while they're here, because they've had experience of that in England, or in Wales, sorry, I should say. And I found out the hourly rate here for baristas is about $26, $27 an hour Australian, which is about $20 US, I'm guessing, roughly. So they said that was pretty good money compared to what they get in the UK. $26, $27 an hour for a waitress or a barista. Terry, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Please, as well, for those of you who aren't able to leave a tip, and I quite understand, totally understand that, not an issue, why don't you leave a review instead? I love seeing what you've got to say about my tours. We had a bit of a difficult start today because I couldn't get the stream to work, but we got there in the end, I'm pleased to say. And we are, we had a bit of a nice walk around the mangroves. I lost my shoe. A dog jumped up at me and cut my wrist. Thank you, David. Leave a review or a tip. So please, it's not really for me so much. Today's tour cost me pretty much nothing, apart from my sausage roll and my coffee. But when I do tours like the zoo, which I'm doing on Friday, now that can be quite an expensive trip. When you paid for parking, you paid your entry fees, petrol, that can cost me anything up to about $100 Australian. So tips are very much appreciated then, because I like to cover my costs if I can. I like to cover my costs. At the same time, any money I make and have left over, I give to the Breast Cancer Research Council of Australia for it's a very worthwhile charity. So please, if you are able to leave a tip, please do. If you can't, don't worry about it in the slightest. Leave a review instead. I love reading what you've got to say about my tours, even if it's critical. I thrive on criticism. And please don't say, we didn't see any birds and all we did was watch a meat and sausage roll. Well, we did see some birds. Carol, that's very sweet of you. Thank you very, very much indeed. It is so important that we keep Heygo platform going. Joe, what kind of... So, Joe, well done, Joe. You're asking me a question that's not about ladies. Well done, Joe. It's beef. Well done, Joe. I tell you what, I've missed you, Joe. You haven't been around, and there's been times when I've thought, I won't go into any details, but I'll say, I thought Joe would have enjoyed that, and Joe wasn't here. Joe's a very bad man. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. Yes, Joe, I really did. I thought, well, Joe should be here now. We all know how bad Joe is. Yeah, beef and sausage roll. We've got a bit of a rush hour. This is our idea of a rush hour around here. Have a look at this. The traffic pouring through, heading off to work just beyond the little hedge there. That's rush hour in Avalon. People heading off to work. Joe, how far from my home? If I was walking, I go through the mangroves to get back to my house. That would be 10 minutes by walking from here. If less than that, if I jogged it, and about 5 minutes by car to where I live. So it really is very close. This would be, apart from the birds in my back garden tour that I do and my genealogy tour, which I do from home, this would be the closest tour that I do to my house. It's the first time I've done this one. You jog a lot. I like to jog, not as much as I used to, because I damaged my foot a few years ago on some rocks when I was walking on the beach at Avalon, and I cut it open. And instead of having it properly cared for, which you should always do, now I know that, I just thought, oh, it's just a cut. It's like the cut on my wrist, I thought, oh, it'll just heal up. It'll get better. I won't have to worry about doctors or anything. Well, of course, it didn't get better. And you're quite right, Joanne. If they're not treated properly, they can become infected, and suddenly they can become very serious, particularly if it happens to your feet. So for a couple of years, I was being treated for this infected wound in my foot, which was causing me a lot of problems. And I wasn't able to jog. I could hardly walk for a while. But fortunately, I have a very good doctor, a very good podiatrist, and very good treatment from the hospital. And I thought at one point I was going to lose my foot. But in the end, it's all healed back, and it's now pretty much 100% healed. So I'm delighted to say that, thanks to the good treatment and me being sensible and not going jogging. Sorry, I'm afraid. You need to get out. I'll get it cleaned up when I get home. I don't think it's risking my arms. Feet are actually much more of a problem than arms, so I'm told. I'm not a doctor or a nurse, I'm not sure, but I believe, feet. The problem is once you get older, when you're young, in your 20s, and playing rugby, I used to get cuts and wounds every weekend. And you just thought, it'll fix itself, and it used to, unless a bone needed to be put back in or something like that. I used to just say, well, it's all right. But as you get on, suddenly things don't heal up as well as they should. And that's when you've got to be sensible. And so I've learned that to my cost. For about 2 years, I wasn't even able to go in the sea to swim. How awful is that? Yes, that's right, David. Well, David and I think the same way about a lot of things. What is the name of the hospital where the breast? It's a foundation. It's not a hospital. They're based, I think, at the North Shore, Deborah. But the Australian Breast Cancer Research Foundation operates all over Australia. Is that really a question? Is the breast? I missed your question, Deborah. Is that what you're asking me? Yeah, it's right across Australia. Oh, you can see all right. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to take the rest of my coffee home with me and take half my sausage roll home with me as well, because I can only eat. I have a very small appetite, actually. I can only eat half a sausage roll at a time. I'll take it home and have it for my lunch. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now. I want to thank you. If you haven't got any more questions for me, I'll say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining me on this tour to the mangroves. Sorry we didn't see more birds. I'll post pictures of all the birds that are usually down there. I'll post them on Pittwater Playground. Please go and have a look at that. Please, Emily will post beautiful postcards from the tour today. She'll put those on Pittwater Playground. Go and have a look at those. Thank you very much for that, Emily. I appreciate it very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, David, for your support as always. Much appreciated. I hope Amy's still talking to me. Yes, Tarek, that would be lovely. Don't forget, if you can leave a tip, it's not just about me, it's about Heygo. Thank you. It's about the Heygo platform. Tips: go to the Heygo platform. We need it. Otherwise, we won't be able to do tours like this. So that's a very, very good reason for you to leave a tip. Leave a review. I'd love to hear what you're going to say about the tour. And hopefully we'll see you again on Friday, Thursday, your time, when we go to Taronga Zoo. 2 tours. We're going to have a look at the bird show, and we're going to have a look at the koalas, the koala show. Plus, we'll have a look at a whole lot of other things there as well. But the 2 main reasons for going: bird show, which is really sensational. I got cut off. Yeah, well, Tarek, if you're in London, I believe you are in London, you're going to have to get up very much in the middle of the night, unfortunately. But if you can do that, I know you'll enjoy the koala tour very, very much. We'll be seeing them, the trainers, the keepers will be giving us a talk on the koalas, and the bird show in the more earlier in the day. That's quite sensational. I've seen that before. It's quite sensational. So please come along. Don't forget, it is the zoo. It's a long trip for me. Oh, good. All right. So it's a long trip for me. So please come along, support me. I hope you'll all be there. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm happy that you're here, and I hope that you're happy with what we've done and what we saw. So from me, Richard, in North Avalon, Careel Bay, Sydney, Australia, love and peace. Take it easy, folks. See you again soon. Bye. Deborah, I think that's the sort of thing somebody else should be doing. I'm really very bad at medical stuff in the terms of understanding it. In fact, if I get something wrong with myself, I'll put this back on. Over my years, when I've had something wrong with me, and the doctor started to tell me what it is, I say to them, look, don't tell me what it is. I don't want to know. Just tell me what to do to fix it. And I'll try and do that. Sometimes I would do what I was told. Sometimes I didn't. But when it comes to things involving, whilst I have total sympathy for people who have that issue or any medical issue that is making their lives more difficult, I'm not the person to talk about it. I'm sorry about that, and it's not that I'm not interested. I care deeply. But my attitude is, well, if you tell me what it's called, it won't mean a word to me. It won't mean a thing to me. I'll forget it in 2 minutes because my mind's not geared up for that sort of thing. But tell me what I should do, and I'll do what you say, probably. I'll take the pills you want me to take, or I'll stop doing the things I'm not supposed to be doing, like eating cakes or whatever. Yeah, look, Cheryl, it's a very difficult one. I, I, I think it's better done by somebody who knows what they're talking about. I mean, I try to tell you about things like the birds today. Now, I had to do a bit of research on that, even though they're on my back door. I didn't know too much about a lot of those birds. I knew their migratory habits, but I couldn't identify them individually until today. So I have to do my research on tours quite often. But something like that, I don't think I could do it. Sometimes I just have to say, well, it's beyond me. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. I've been asked to go to. No, I don't think they would, Cheryl. I've been asked to go to a retirement home in a couple of weeks, a whole group of people, and talk to them about Heygo, and talk to them about genealogy, which is my other main interest. And I'm very very, very happy to do that. Um, as long as I'm not asked to discuss the medical conditions of the people that are there. I'm more than happy to talk about Heygo and genealogy to them and answer their questions. Um, yeah, yeah. So I don't, probably not for me. Good suggestion. I appreciate the suggestion very much, but probably not my. Uh, no, yeah. Um, I do have links to that charity, Pittwater Playground, where you can read more about the organization and what they do. But I'm sure in your own countries, they have organizations just like that, doing exactly the same thing, or close to it. Obviously, my interest in it is because a friend of mine lost his wife recently to breast cancer. And it was at the time when I was thinking about what charity I should support. And I don't just support it for with my tips. I support it with other funds that I have. Um, but it certainly is the number one charity for me at the moment. But I can't say I know too much about it. Um, that's the way I am. Okay, I'm going. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for being here. Talk to you again soon. Bye bye. Peace and love. Goodbye.